Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sunday Rise, where you get all your sports information on Sunday morning. We're going to start you out, take you through one sport at a time, hit you with some breaking news and all that good stuff. But before I get into all of that, we are the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is the Sunday Rise. He is the gentleman Jack Carr. I am the Midnight Rider. You've probably seen our faces all over the place the last 2 days if you've been on our Facebook. You're welcome. And the way we're going to start this morning out, we're going to hit you with some of the breaking news we had this morning. We're going to give you a recap of the field trip, as we like to call them, our time with the PVA yesterday, and that's where you see all the interviews coming from. We're going to talk a little baseball with Jack Carr. We're going to talk a little bit about the NFLPA and the legal troubles or some of the shenanigans that have been going on the last couple of weeks. And at the end of that, we always ask you on Sunday morning, what you eating? So with that being said, Jack, how you feeling, baby?
I'm doing good, partner.
All right. So let's jump right into it, man.
Jumping.
Probably the newest of the news is Redskin wide receiver Santana Moss has been selected on opening day for his name to go up in the rafters. This news probably came out about 8:30, 9 o'clock today. They broke it on the show that they do from training camp. Somehow they got, I guess, some of Moss's family members to be there and surprise them with the announcement. Of course, he teared up a little bit because they were cutting onions. And let me just ask you real simple, man. What's your thoughts initially about this?
Hey, Santana has more than deserved this. You know what I'm saying? Cowboy Killer is what he goes by in my household. And that goes back to that, I believe it was either a Monday night or a Sunday night game. I know it was a national TV game when we came back on the Cowboys in the last 4 or 5 minutes. And it was the same play, called the same play. And that's where Santana Moss got the name Cowboy Killer. And I mean, I don't think we got enough games in the season, Midnight Rider, for the Commanders to give all the love and the flowers that the Snyder era neglected. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't want them to overdo it this year on kicking the cookies to everybody. We got Daryl. Don't we got Daryl going this year? No, Art. We got Art this year. We got Santana now. We had Sean last year.
Yeah, Daryl last year.
And Daryl last year. Let's not get carried away. We don't need 8 Ring of Fame inductions this year, I don't feel.
Well, just remember, Art Monk is his number being retired. Mm-hmm. Moss is just his name going up in the ring around the top of the stadium. Yes.
I know.
I just want to make sure.
I just don't want this regime to start thinking they gotta, throw a party every home game because the Snyder era neglected to do that in their 20-something years. So, yeah, let's just not water it down. You know what I'm saying? I want it to really be a meaningful event, a meaningful game when these things happen to these guys. So that's all I'm saying.
No, I totally get what you're saying. Because what you're scared of is they elect KG to do all this, and we get everybody and their grandmother in the Ring of Fame. And I understand where you're coming from with that, but no, I think this was the next right person.
Yeah,
this was the next right person. I think the only other person left would be Portis, to the best of my knowledge. When he retires, maybe a Trent Williams, but I think Portis the only other one left because Portis carried that team in 2005, I think it was, when they made that run. One of those years in between 03 and 05, he basically was their offense. And the thing about Moss and why I think it's so apropos that this news came today as we get other wide receiver news is just, I mean, you can't think of a top-notch receiver that threw a pass to Santana Moss. I mean, Robert Griffin III and Kirk Cousins were both at the tail end of his career and probably the best two he had. I mean, you had Jason Campbell, but I don't think of Campbell as a great quarterback. You had Mark Brunell. So it's just, again, I think this is the perfect double of other wide receiver news coming from this camp today that, I mean, it's all appropriate. I will admit there was a stretch where I was a little frustrated with Santana. I think for me, I thought he dropped some passes. So, and I think also it was just part of the terrible era. So I was just lashing out, and I think he just got the brunt of my lash out. As I watched his highlights and gone back and watched him, I realized that, yeah, I was an idiot. I had a bad stance. I had some bad takes there. So, the correspondent with another good name, Cooley. I think Cooley's
yes.
See, that's why we got you, man. Always think of something that we're not thinking about.
I go with that.
The other breaking news coming out of Commander Land, the Terry McLaurin reports to training camp without a new deal, but they will place him on PUP to start camp. I feel like that's more of a good faith measure than anything else. Maybe negotiations have been going better, but not quite as well as they want. But I think they feel like they're close enough that a deal is imminent. So let's get you in. Let's not have you accrue any more of these fines, and we figure it out from there. Is my take. Because I think what everybody has to remember is under this CBA, they can't wipe away the fines. Like in years past, you could do it, and they'd be like, "Oh, we'll like split the fines with you, or we'll cut them out." In this new CBA, you can't do that, and that's another thing. Let's earmark that comment and push it for later on when we talk about the NFLPA later on, because that's something else I want to bring up in that scenario. But Jack, what's your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I do like him being at camp. The whole pup thing that always made me laugh. First of all, what it the word it comes up with, pup. I'm on the pup list. Physically unable to perform. He only unable to perform because he ain't got that contract in place. But yeah, I like it, and I do. I was saying it all day yesterday at our event. I think he will sign this week, late this week. I do think so, man. Because I think him being at the park and being around his guys might sway him in a direction to say, "Hey, agent, let's get this done." You know, right. I do seriously think Terry wants 35. Don't think he deserves it. I'm sorry, but I think he's good in that 30, 32 mil range. It's going to be somewhere in there, 98 million, $100 million deal. Just lock it up soon and let's get going to where we left off last year. You know, there's no time for no speed bumps and drama. I don't want the drama. And thank God, because what they got over there in Dallas camp, Jesus, he puts on a circus every year, man. No wonder that team's just shit sucking for the past 25 years. So let's keep the drama out of camp, Midnight Rider. That's what I want.
Well, I don't think you're going to have too much drama in this camp because I don't think that's what they major in. This team majors in getting results. And no, I'm dead serious. This group majors in getting the message across and getting things done. And I think one of the things, I know we didn't talk about it, but did you get a chance to see the new locker rooms? when you get a chance, search Commanders locker room, because part of what they've done this all season was they upgraded the locker rooms. They added some devices to help the players heal. They got this big ass hyperbaric chamber. They've got a couple other things they added, and it's just part of the renovation that since this group has taken over, the Harris group, they've just done everything they could to upgrade the facility, and they've just done it without question. And it's so sad that they have to do it the way they're doing it, because that building has been neglected for 20 some odd years, and they basically have to just gut it and start all over again. And these lockers are sweet. You got a big decal in the ceiling. You have the players' names, of course, are highlighted. They've got all the new stuff like the dryers in the locker, so you can get the sweat and stuff out of the pads. They've got nice plush chairs in front of the lockers, so the guys can sit at their locker. They've got cup holders. Behind the chair, there's place for them to put their jerseys, their clothes. There's probably somewhere for them to charge their phones, things of that nature, things that these guys that went to schools like Alabama and Tennessee, that was second nature for them to walk into a locker room that looks like this. Now for the Commanders, this is their upgrade, or them becoming a modern franchise. And I like what they do in that. Like, they've come in and everything that the players complained about, they've made it better. From the food to the locker room now. They even redid the bubble. So they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that a lot. It's the way it should have been. How do you not put your money where your mouth is as far as your personnel and your players? You know what I mean? That's been the kick in the ass for these past 2 decades, is the ownership not showing the love and doing what we love doing, which is giving flowers where they do. And I just felt they've been, I can't say no more. It's just sucked. And I look forward to this.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've put things in place. I think today I was watching Sports Center, so Sports Center is there. I don't know if I think this is part of that 50 states and 50 whatever it is tour that they're doing. So I don't know if the tour was for Ashburn, for Virginia, or if it was for DC. But whatever one it is, it didn't matter. So it was good to see those guys out for that too. But like you said, Jack, I think as long as we can just keep the focus on the field, it'd be perfect. Go ahead.
And you bringing up that 50 states on the ESPN thing, I have been enjoying that. The other day it was just Wyoming, and the best thing to come out of Wyoming, right?
No, sir.
Josh Allen.
Oh, okay.
They showed Josh Allen's highlights of his last 2 years at Wyoming. Good muggly, man. Josh would just look over at the coaching staff and be like, and next thing you know, it's a quarterback keep. When they needed yards, Josh Allen said, "I'm not throwing. I got it." And you see him doing that, and his big ass goes running, fake up the middle, run off tackle. And he got the yards he needed in college, man. So, I recall following Josh Allen at Wyoming. It's not as easy as it is nowadays. 10 years ago, it's just sports world has changed in 10 years that we're seeing smaller schools on bigger scales now, and I enjoy that. So, just a little ad, my bag.
No, you good, man. We're going to take a quick break here, and then we come back. You're going to find out about the field trip with the fellas. This commercial is going to highlight our guys from last night, the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs. So enjoy just their opening ad to their show. Get used to it now. So on Saturday nights, you get used to seeing this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that little preview and snippet of the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs and part of their theme. As we are coming back again, Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is the Sunday Rise. He's the Gentleman Jack. I'm the Midnight Rider. And our next topic is the field trip with PVA. Jack, you were the conductor of this. You want to go ahead and kind of open it up and tell the group just exactly what we did yesterday?
Well, I tell you, yesterday, and we've been looking forward to it for 4 or 5 weeks. So the big guy was chomping at the bit. The big guy was rocking and rolling, ready to go at 4:30 a.m. And even though we had to be out there till like 2 o'clock p.m., I was ready yesterday. We was out at the PVA Youth Boxing Showcase. And they held this event at the Tanger Outlets in Oxon Hill up there by MGM. All you folks are familiar with the MGM over there on the waterfront on Potomac. It was a little warm. I was pretty surprised to see it being held outdoors yesterday. But them kids was ready, prepared, and ready. There was some amazing young fighting going. Talked to several people in the crowd because a lot of people that were in attendance were just shoppers at the outlets. They didn't know what was happening, Midnight Rider. So talked to them, and they were just like, I'm amazed at how skilled these young fighters are. And we seen that a couple weeks ago at Rosecroft when we was out there with Daryl and the crew. And that's Daryl Davis and his counterpart, Miss Latasha Washington. And there's several other names I need to drop, but we're going to be dropping those in our Facebook Junkie pages so they can definitely be tagged and get their love, because what they put on for these young athletes out there is tremendous. And, some of these kids looking for Olympics, Junior Olympics, looking for, regular Olympics as they get older. So we're not just dealing with a little fight club here. These are serious clubs. We dealt with clubs. Some of them were as far away as New Jersey. We had several in Baltimore that put up good fights. And DC, Palmer Park, Ray Leonard's gym was there. It was a great turnout from an array of different boxing gyms. Midnight Rider, did I miss anything, man?
You know what? I want to shout out some of these teams.
Please.
The Akagi Project Gym, Lancaster Boxing Gym, Upton Boxing, which is the Baltimore place that their kids came out and put on the show. Headbanger Boxing Gym, Sugar Ray Boxing, the NC Horsemen.
They was from Carolina.
I think this kid Musa was also part of Upton Gym. Oxon Hill Boxing, Lancaster Boxing, the King Session. You got Richmond, No Excuse. You said New Jersey, Work Time Kenilworth, Two Fly. Let's see. I think that's pretty much everybody. If I didn't say No Excuse,
Triple Threat Gym. I like that name. And we also had a little bit of a celebrity out there with us yesterday. And it's so funny because we were sitting next to Moms Johnson. Moms Johnson let us know about her fighter. Her fighter was Montana Johnson, also known as what, Midnight Rider?
Showtime!
Oh, Showtime. Put on a show. I'm telling you, man. Wait till you see some of our footage. Well, this young man, Montana Showtime Johnson, was on, he's currently 9 years old. He was on the Steve Harvey show when he was 5 years old. And I swear, I watched that show because I remember loving the name Montana. And Steve Harvey did as well. So he comes on there, throws a couple six pieces into the mix, and working with Steve. And yeah, Montana was surprised I knew that information on him. But yeah, I mean, just something like that. He was on national TV, 5 years old, and now look at him still pursuing his boxing dream at 9 years old. I thought that was pretty neat little tidbit. I like my tidbits, Midnight
Yes, you do.
Rider.
Do you want to go through some of the stuff that we saw yesterday, or how do you want to move forward?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it was moving swiftly. 3 rounds, Midnight Rider.
I think they were 3 2-minute rounds.
3 2 minutes, and then the youngins, the 6, 7-year-old, 8-year-olds, they actually did like a minute and a half.
Yeah,
and it was on from the beginning. I mean, you heard it. You just heard it sticking, boy. You heard gloves hitting face. We seen headgear get knocked off. I mean, these boys was boxing. It wasn't no Bama stuff, boy. And like I said, the Baltimore gym. Which one was that? Was that Uptown?
Yeah, Upton.
I mean, they just came out and whew, they won their first 4 or 5 fights.
Mm-hmm.
And they were matched up with DC a couple of times. I know a lot of people like that DC Baltimore rivalry in sports. The Baltimore gym. And every time I think about Baltimore gyms, I don't know why, but I think of Hasim Rock. Because that was probably the last famous fighter not the last, but you know what I'm saying. One of the big fighters that came out of Baltimore in recent past. And that gym, I'm telling you, Midnight Rider, that's going to be on my field trip list. We are going to go out to Upton Gym. I want to see how they work, how they prepare, what their environment's like in that gym, because it looked like their environment's about winning. So I want to go there. I want to go over to Ray's. I used to go to Ray's gym back in the day at Palmer Park. I don't even know if it's in the same spot. We had a gym right across the road from me where I grew up in Riverdale over in Hydesville, and it's on Route 1. And everybody knows that is Round 1 Boxing. So that was I thought that was Sugar Ray's joint. It wasn't. Ray was just always there because it was around the way. I want to visit some of these gyms, Midnight Rider.
I don't think we need to visit the gyms, man, because I think we have events coming up. Because I know the 13th of September we got the they have the Palmer Park Day. I think is one of the next ones coming up. So we might
Palmer
do
Park
that.
is next weekend. The event will be at Palmer Park Gym at Sugar Ray Leonard's gym. It is next Saturday. We'll put the info we'll put it on our page, but I do not think the Junkies will be in attendance at this one. But we definitely will. And I tell you, y'all need to join us out at these events, man. We get VIP access, bro.
Let's do this. There's one on September 13th. Let's figure out what that is and let's promote that and push that so everybody in Junkie Land or in the sideline world can check it out. But there's a couple kids we interviewed, a couple kids we want to shout out. I want to shout out because they stood out to me. I think this is when you went to the restroom. There was a kid, Noah Ash, out of the Upton Gym. He was about I think he was in the 140s. Yeah, he's 145. He came in. I don't think you remember if you paid attention, but he had the fur on the shorts.
Yeah.
Black shorts with the long thing, looking like what's that dude from back in the day? Like, was it Machado?
Probably.
Or something like that. I think that's who it was.
It was flashy.
It was very flashy. And he came in before like 2 fights earlier and was like, I'm gonna put on a show. I'm about to put on a show.
Yes, he did.
And
he did tell us.
when he got in the ring, he put on a show. I think he was one of the few guys that stopped. They had to stop the fight. I don't think he got to the decision card.
I didn't see a fight stopped.
So we had two. Our kid Robinson. They stopped his fight. Rashad Robinson. He was also 147. He fought Castro.
Rashad or Musa?
One of those two.
Rashad Robinson?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. There's two Robinsons. Yup. Yeah. That must have been the one where he kept knocking Slimmy's headgear off because
and then
his headgear was getting appropriately knocked off.
Then the beauty of it was the talking about the ring gear, your boy Showtime, he had the shoes with Showtime on them.
Tight.
And he had the nice little shorts too. We got a nice mix of just kids. I think our first fight was the only one that the height discrepancy really made the fight. I think that was Delimar.
It was the young ladies.
Delimar Sita and Mila Torres.
Yes.
I think, yeah. So Delimar was in our corner. She was just short. I think the only thing that hurt her in the fight was she just couldn't get inside the range of the taller fighter, but she was all heart.
Right.
She was all heart.
She had heart. She had heart for little shorty. And I think she was out-aged by a year. That's a lot when you're talking about 6, 7, 8 years old. But it was heart. There wasn't no lack of heart in that first bout.
And your boy from Jersey, he took some shots, but he was giving out some shots. That was probably one of the closest fights of the day. That was probably the last fight we watched.
That was the only one that there was doubt among the fighters when the decision was made. Most of the fights we saw when the decision was made, it was clean cut.
Right.
That one, because it was first round dominated by one, second round, my boy came back. You know, I thought he was toast. I'm like, damn, everybody been telling me watch dude, and he was getting crushed. But second round, he came out on top, and they made adjustments in his corners, what I liked. And Slim that was in our corner that won, put on a great fight. So I went over to congratulate both. This is the only fight I congratulated both. Not that any of the losers didn't deserve congratulations. It's just that was how good of a fight, and it was the anticipated fight of the day for me. Because our guy Daryl Davis came to me after I met the young man early in the day and goes, "Watch him." So, yeah. And you know what, Minarada? The how do I say this? The hype for each fight. Because we met some of these kids several weeks ago. And I might have forgot a little bit, but when they got up in that ring and looked over those ropes at us, because your boys was set up ringside. When them boys was in that ring and they looked over the ropes, all of them gave us a look like, keep an eye on me, bro. They just,
they
so
did.
awesome.
They did.
How they remembered us, and they're like, I'm getting that interview, because last time we just interviewed winners as well. And the reason we got to do that, everybody, is we got batteries that we're, trying to conserve. And we just, maybe in the future, when we get a little bit our equipment situation straight and learn, because we did run out of battery, somewhere around fight 13?
Yeah.
So, it was a learning thing for us. And we definitely don't want to run out of battery again at an event, because we want to try to cover it from the front to the back. So, these boys knew we were here. They knew we were there. And they would, it just felt good when they looked down. It was like, watch me, bro.
All right, let's hit these comments, then we're going to go to commercial. Maddie Ice says Yellowstone Park and Grand Teton NP, whatever that is the best part of Wyoming.
He's about sport.
But Matt did his summer session, and I think last week on the drive time, the topic was the top 5 national parks that you visited. So that's why this is front and center for him. And then he said they did a great job last night with the Hogan stuff. Very fair and honest. This is talking about the
Yeah.
WrestleManiacs last night.
The Maniac
Missed it?
did great.
Check them out. Again, it's on our page, YouTube, Sideline Junkies. You can always catch up on any episode that you miss. And with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk baseball with Jack Carr. I'm going to throw something past him towards the end of this to see what he thinks. Because he always talks about me being a little too crazy with my bets. So we're going to see what's going to happen on this one, what he thinks about this one. We'll be back in about 20 seconds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are back live with the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. I'm the Midnight Rider. He is the Gentleman Jack. We just finished telling you about our beautiful boxing field trip over at the Tangiers Outlets with the PVA Boxing Association, Daryl Davis, Latasha Washington. I want to thank you guys for having us out there. Thank you for making arrangements so we can get to certain fighters. You did miss the celebrity Lamont Roach. I remember if you said that, and if you did, I apologize.
I didn't see Roach.
Lamont Roach was out there for a little bit. I was trying to get him, but he had his people with him, so I couldn't pull him for an interview. And that's kind of when we were at the end of our battery situation. And then, was it Too Sharp?
Too Sharp was there. Oh God, I forgot who the other guy was. And then we had Lil Shorty, our 5-year reigning champion, and the girl's only what, 13?
Yeah. Then we had the Olympian too. Both of those interviews on your phone.
Yeah.
So whenever you get a chance to upload your videos.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. I forgot I had content.
Yeah, you got the last 3 interviews, I think.
That's right. I will get those to y'all ASAP.
Just post them in the group.
I thought she was 4-time. Then she lets you know she's 5-time champion.
Right.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ, she can't be but 11. And she was 13. And she had a swag about her. And then what I liked in that rider, when you got to her and said, 5-time champion, how did this? She's like, well, I don't really fight too much, but when I fight, it's always a big fight. I'm like, all right, just tell it like it is. And she was very confident. I would love to see her fight. I don't know if she was at Rosecroft a couple weeks ago.
No.
But I definitely. What was her last name again? Her name again?
Was she Casey Clark?
Yes.
I felt like it was simple.
Yeah, Casey Clark. And I'm just telling you. And our fight promoter searched us out to introduce us to her. She wasn't on the card yesterday.
Yep.
So as soon as I saw Daryl did that, I'm like, whoa, this ain't just some regular fighter. If he's coming to introduce me to someone that's not even fighting today, that's when I knew we had somebody. And
we had 2 young ladies we interviewed yesterday.
Yes.
I think I dropped the other one this morning. If I didn't, I'll do it here in a second. Once we get off air.
That was earlier in the day. Yep. But
So
this guy was towards the end of the day.
Yep. We got caught in the rain with her, but it was all good. The fact that she stood there and was just like,
the rain felt good yesterday.
Right, exactly. But
shit out there.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and talk baseball, Jack. I always love having this conversation with you because you always look up and find or see something that I don't see, and then we go from there. I think I have a nugget for you, but I'm gonna wait to see what you drop before I drop my nugget.
All right, I like like I say, we're on the second half, we're on the back stretch, or whatever you want to call it. This is when baseball needs to be played. It's to get down. The American League is not as tight as the National League if you look at standings. And I thought it was going to be the total opposite. But it can change before end of season, and I could end up still being right. But We got the Jays in the AL East with a 6.5 game lead over the Yankees. Boston's right there. Tampa Bay and Baltimore. Baltimore's done screwed. They were 11 games out at All-Star break. Now they're 17 games out. So look like they done kicked the pooch and figured out which way they going. The Central, Midnight Riders, Detroit Tigers up there, man. 7 games up on the Guards. I thought Kansas City and Minnesota was going to make bigger surges, but there's only a 9-game difference, so they still can. AL West.
Before you move on, real quick, one tidbit. The Detroit has actually been like they've been like 2-8 or something like that in their last 10.
Mm-hmm.
And they still haven't really lost any ground. They struggled their last 11 games. I don't know the exact record, but I know it's bad.
They've lost 6 in a row. I don't have the 10, but if they lost 6 in a row, that's no better than 4-10. And it's probably worse. I missed the last 10 on here, but yeah, they've lost 6 in a row and they're still 7 up.
That's the whole reason I said that.
The Guards are up and down, win 2, lose 2, shit like that. And then the Royals, man, I don't know if they can get out of their own way, man. Every time they get an opportunity to make up ground, they don't. So, I mean, this is still a tight division with, 4th place only being 9 games out. So I like that. The AL West, Houston and Seattle at the top, or I should say Houston, Seattle, and Texas at the top. There's 5 games between the Angels and the A's. I don't see the shit coming out of them, dude. But there was some pretty amazing news with the A's. What was it? Friday night, I believe. The gentleman, first base rookie first baseman over there for the A's. His name is Nick Kurtz. And the name Kurtz just rings bells with me because one of my coaching partners over here at Kent Island, when I had to go over and coach girls softball, was Mr. Mark Kurtz. And me and Mark, man, we pretty good, man. So I haven't had a chance to tease him yet. Hey, is that your unclaimed baby over there in Oakland, over there in the A's? But what he did the other day against the Houston Astros, 6 for 6, 6 runs, 4 home runs, 8 RBIs. I mean, dude, I've said some nice stat lines here in the past year or two, but 6 for 6, 6 runs, 4 homers, 8 ribbies. You don't get one much better than that. He is the 20th player to hit 4 homers in one game, Midnight Rider. But you know what? He the first rookie to do this, though. First rookie to put 4 dingers up. And he is the 4th fastest A to 20 homers. I was thinking, I didn't see the list of who the 3 are. I was thinking McGuire, maybe Canseco, and who was that big bat they used to have over there in the 80s, 90s in Oakland?
I was thinking more of the 2000s and thinking like Miguel Tejada would be somebody that'd be.
It wasn't Miggy. I seen the list, but I didn't write it down. So to be the 4th fastest A to hit 20 homers, he's on a roll, and let's see how his season pans out. Because Mr. Nick Kurtz had one hell of a day this past Friday. And also in American League news, Aaron Judge going to the 10-day DL. I think the Yankees got lucky with this. It's not going to require any surgery, but they're going to take it easy on this elbow. It's a flexor strain, right elbow. We will not throw for 10 to 14 days. And he's going to DH every game, and they're going to move Giancarlo Stanton to Judge's position in the outfield. Stanton hasn't played the outfield position since 2023. I had no idea, Midnight Rider, that he went solely DH like that.
Well, he's been having, I think he started the season with elbow issues, so he couldn't even pick up a bat the first part of the season. So That kind of makes sense. You
Yeah.
mentioned Texas earlier. I'm gonna try to get through this real quick and get out your way. They've
Good.
been up and down. I think Seattle just traded for Josh Naylor. So that's gonna be an interesting add to their lineup. And then Houston's been just doing Houston stuff. Like it's like they're like just for a bad reference, they're like roaches. Like you think you're done with them, and then you just see one crawling out of nowhere. They just won't go
like
away.
Roaches, huh? Like roaches,
man.
huh? Yeah. So
Going to the senior circuit.
so we're gonna roll over here to standings in the National League now, in which is like I say, much tighter races as of now. In the East, you got your Mets up there. They're a half a game up on the Phils. I think that's going to be the tightest race in MLB coming down the run in September. I really do. The Marlins, 10 games out. The Braves, 16 out. The Nationals, 19 out. So it's a Philly-New York battle here in the NL East. I don't think anybody wants to argue that. In the Central, the Cubbies right there, the Brewers right there. I did not have the Brewers up here like this, man. I had Cincinnati is who I picked to be the surprise in the National League, and they're not far behind since he's 6 games back from the Cubs and the Brewers. St. Louis 8 games back, and then them lowly Pirates, boy, Jesus Christ, they damn near 20 games back.
Before you go forward, one quick thing. Sorry, because I didn't think you were done with the East that quick. I apologize on this.
Fine, buddy.
There's the nugget that I had is the Florida Marlins are 8-2 in their last 10. So they're a team that I don't know if they're trying to surge or make a surge, but they're better than what we expected. I expect them to be totally. So I don't know what it is, but the key is not the division race. The key now for some of these teams is, can you do enough to just qualify for the wild card?
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 wild cards. So I think that's where teams like this can get hot and get going and be an option. I'm sorry, you were on the Central.
And it is the Miami Marlins.
Yes. Did I call them Florida?
Yeah. Yeah, Florida, I think, is 7 out of the last 10. They won 4 in a row. So, yeah, they are making some noise. I think that's going to be a fun one to watch. Just being Chicago, not always being at the top, and then being Milwaukee coming back from a down year. So I like to keep an eye on this Central plus my National League team. The Cincinnati Reds are in this division. I'm still not, man. I'd love to see the Reds make a wild card, if not a division. That'd be a hell of a turnaround for that team. And everybody knows Cincinnati's turnaround has a lot to do with pitching, in which they really exploded in the past couple of years on some good pitching prospects. A couple of them are just starting to make their debuts. Of course, you got Mr. De La Cruz on the offensive side playing short. He's something to watch. So keep an eye on the National League Central as we get towards September. National League West, man, my Dodgers, I like to say my Dodgers too, because they've been one of my most enjoyable teams to watch the past 4 or 5 years, watching them put this team together. And the Dodgers up 5 on San Diego. San Diego's right where I thought they'd be. Second place in the West. The Giants, I thought the Diamondbacks would be ahead of the Giants. I really did. They've had injuries to their pitching staff as well. It's hurting them. I want to say Burns is out. Corbin Burns. Oh, not Corbin Burns.
Yeah, you're right.
Is it Corbin? I want to say Burns is out.
Yeah, he is.
And he was supposed to be a big key to this team's success this year. I don't know that Arizona can. I don't know. They're only 10 back, but with San Francisco, San Diego, and Los Angeles ahead of them, I don't see Arizona. And then Colorado, they got the biggest deficit of any division in baseball. You know how many games they're out midnight round?
I'm gonna say 42.
34.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. 34 games out. You might as well just go home. Go. You don't get to take your ball. Just go home. So that's what's up. The West, even though they got the biggest deficit between 18 but 34 games, it is the tightest races in baseball. We spoke earlier about Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is still leading the league in batting average at 342. Will Smith for the Dodgers, 325. That's a pretty big gap. I don't remember batting titles being decided by, almost 20 points, point 20. Pena, 322. And then Jacob Wilson, 312. I think there's only 9 people over 300 right now. And last season, only 6 or 8 finished over 300. Some of the lowest numbers ever. And I've already said that's all got to do with their swing trajectory, their launch angles, and all that crap they're putting into swinging now. So, home runs, Cal Raleigh hit his 40th, first 240 this year. Ohtani, 38, Judge, 37. That's going to be a fun thing, as it is every season, watching the home run race. RBIs, Suarez over there at Arizona. Been a guy I've liked for a couple of years, but not a lot of people knew who he was. He's got 87 ribbies. Judge has 85. Raleigh has 85. So that's going to be another tight race.
All right, Jack, hold tight right there. We're going to finish up on the other side of this. We're going to take a break. And this time, we're going to give you a preview of the Drive Time 5 o'clock show. We're going to give you a preview of what their opening looks like. And then we'll be right back. Let Jack finish up, hit your comments, and then touch on the NFLPA real quick before we get out of here and ask you what you eating. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is, your quick preview of what you're going to see tomorrow night, 5 p.m., Drive Time, Matty Ice, Scooter sometimes Showtime Sarah, sometimes Paulie C, sometimes Vic Carr. You never know the lineup until you get it. Real quick, we had some comments while you were talking baseball, so let me hit them real quick while you're going. While we're on that, because maybe you want to comment on what they talk about first before you get into finishing up your stats and everything. Let's see. Who did I miss? Good gosh, we got a lot.
I
see it. All right. So, Matty Ice says Josh Naylor to the Mariners will be big for them. I totally agree. Yes. Coach Devon, host of Pretenders or Contenders at 7 p.m. I think we get the Syracuse RB coach tomorrow. I know he had some technical difficulties. Coach, just confirm that for me, or just give me what you got, the names for tomorrow before we get out of here. Matty Ice, guards have made up 8 games. They were down 15 3 weeks ago. Again, Matty, guards more like lose 10 in a row, win 11 out of 15. Let's see what else we got here.
And the Brewers do have some good pitching going on over there. I see Jack commented.
How do you keep pitching to someone on fire like that? Really, you don't, or you shouldn't. Jack Sweeney says Brewers have some good pitching. Tomorrow on Drive Time, we're going to do buyers or sellers for the bubble teams. Of course, that's baseball. Jack Sweeney said Bruins had a lot of early season injuries. They're all coming back now. That could almost be like a trade deadline move, is getting back your guys that you didn't have early on in the season. And I think their guy Jackson Chourio is on a 19-game hit streak, the longest current active hit streak in baseball.
Yes.
Since he turnaround has to do with Tito. I think the three of us, or two of the three of us, picked Cincy as a wild card team solely for the fact that Tito was there.
Exactly. Me and you both love Tito coming over there.
Judge out for a bit with his injury. Can the Yanks survive without him?
They won't be without him. They won't be without him. I think he's
going to be in whatchamacallit. I think he goes out for 10 days, and then when he comes back, he has to be on the DL. He didn't even go 10-day DL?
He can't. Okay, yeah, if he's on DL, he does got to come out of the lineup. You're right. I thought he was just going to be out of the lineup, but in the DH spot.
I thought they were giving him a rest for 10 days, and then they were going to do that move. We can confirm that and just make a post about that later on.
That's what I got written. It does sound like that the way I got it written, but I didn't. I thought they just wasn't going to let him throw for 10, but let him DH.
I got you.
I can't confirm it. So, okay.
I think I have the only open with my ugly face on it.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get my ugly face on mine.
I'm wearing that shirt right now, too. Coach Devon says tomorrow we'll have Coach Hill from Suitland High School and D'Angelo Motley, assistant cheer coach at Laurel High School. And I'm sorry, I didn't even pull those up. I'm moving too fast myself. And then Judge is on the IL. So yeah, so he takes his 10 days, and then when he comes back, that's when they decide to let him do his thing. Did you have anything else you wanted to finish up in your baseball talk?
I was just going to wrap up a little bit of the stats. Judge continues to lead the majors in hits with 129. Trey Turner in Philly, heck of a ball player I enjoy watching, 125. Bo Bichette, Toronto, 121. Your boy Jackson Chourio from Curacao, 119. And then Manny Machado with 118 hits. And then here's the stat I always look at because I used to always watch it when I was younger, because you never knew how many bags Ricky was going to get the night before. So I like watching the stolen base leaders, but it's just the numbers are nowhere near like they used to be when I used to watch Ricky Henderson, or even further back, Lou Brock. The numbers were way farther than I've seen in the past 20 years. So O'Neill Cruz over Pittsburgh, probably one of the fastest guys in the league, 34 stolen bases. Jose Calabero in Tampa Bay, 33. Chandler Simpson in Tampa Bay, 32. Got some wheels in Tampa Bay. And then Jose Ramirez in Cleveland, 31. And the young guy, Crow Armstrong with the Cubbies, 28 stolen bases. So the day of 100 stolen bases is young. Somebody said something to me, 2 years last season. Somebody said, "Oh, it's going to happen." It's not. It's not, Midnight Rider. 100 stolen bases in the season ain't happening. What do you think?
Ricky thinks that Ricky would have had 60 at the All-Star break.
Well, Ricky loved talking in third person. So, man. He would tell you what Ricky thought. Let me just do a few pitching stats. Eric Sheck has 12 wins. Peralta over in Milwaukee's got 12 wins as well. Right behind him is Valdez in Houston, Fried in New York, Yankees, and Bassett with Toronto. They all have 11 victories. threes. I'd like to see a 20-game winner, maybe a couple this year. We haven't. I don't, man. I can't remember the multiple 20-game winners in recent seasons. How about you?
Yeah, it doesn't stick out in my mind.
It doesn't ring, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, you'd have 20, 26-game winners, but nobody throws enough goddamn innings to get that many wins anymore. So, ERA, it is Skeens, your boy Paul Skeens over there. Oh, no, that's right. No, you ain't Skeens. You a Scooble dude. You Scooble.
I'm Scooble and Skeens.
But Skeens got 1.91 ERA, and his team is 35 games behind.
He's something like 4. He's like 4-11. In his games he's pitching to a 1.9 ERA. If he pitches anywhere else, he's got at least 15 wins.
No doubt, 15. But like I say, he's losing 3-1, 2-1, you know. And Schoolboy is right there next, only a few points higher at 2.09 ERA. And then Boyd over there with the Cubs, 2.2. Crochet still there. He's putting a big push in for Cy Young over there in Boston. And then Jacob deGrom is making a little bit of a push again. He had a little down years, couple since he came out on the scene with the gangster lean 5-6 years ago.
Thoracic surgery where they take out the rib, and then this is the best he's pitched since then. If anything, he should win NL Comeback Player of the Year.
Definitely.
Or AL Comeback Player of the Year.
Whatever. You definitely hear his name a lot this year. And then our saves leaders are Robert Suarez in San Diego with 30. And then we got what's this boy's name? Josh Hader over there in Houston with 27. Carlos Estevez, 26 from Kansas City. Kansas City's got another closer that's better than him, but he must be hurt if he doesn't have saves like this. So I got to look into that. Emmanuel Clace in Cleveland, who is sick. When Clace is on his game, he's filthy. Has 24 saves. And then Jeff Hoffman in Toronto, he also has 24 saves. I got to pull my side window up real quick for 1 sec.
But Clase also leads the majors probably in blown saves because he's blown at least 6 or 7 saves here in the last few since the start of the season.
Yeah, Clase. What did I say? Clace, didn't I?
It's all good, man.
And then we got strikeouts. Our strikeout leader, again, Derek Crochet in Boston, 175 Ks. Scooble, Detroit, 171 Ks. That big deal is Zach Wheeler over there in Philly, boy, 164 Ks. Hunter Brown in Houston, man. I don't hear as much of Hunter Brown as I thought I used to, but he's got 149. And then Dylan Cease in San Diego, 144. What I like, you can see what somebody's doing by wins and losses and ERA, but the stat they started doing, I can't even think when they started this stat. I know it wasn't when I was younger. You didn't see it as much, but quality starts. And Zach Wheeler and Framber Valdez in Houston, they lead the league. And Mr. Logan Webb in San Fran with quality starts with 15 of them. But it seems like Wheeler and Valdez are the only ones that are really getting good results out of the quality start. So you also got Brian Wu in Seattle, who's really coming out with some good starts, just isn't getting the support he needs. So that's most of the stats I got right here today. Like I say, we got, what's this called here? Around it's called the Days of Summer. The what do you call
Dog
it?
Days of Summer.
Dog Days of Summer, boy. July, August. That's what it is. And then you got September. That's when it's time to jockey for position and see who's gonna get that extra wild card spot now. So We still got, as people, Matty Ice said, we still got live baseball to play, but we're on the other side of the All-Star break and shit's starting to make sense. And let's see if it continues like that, Midnight Rider.
All right. Real quick, Jack Wagner says, "Good morning, friends."
What's up, Jack?
At the Jim Nance line from when he opens the at Augusta. That's the way it sounded when I read it. That's what it sounded like.
It does. It does. But I don't think Jack would know an Augusta line. No disrespect, bro.
So here we go. Just to kind of close things out, we're gonna push the.
Let me hear your tidbit.
That was my tidbit. Was the Marlins was 8-2, and the Churio was on a 19-game hit streak. Those are my two things that I picked out.
Gotcha.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push the NFLPA legal troubles to Tuesday. Because I don't think we're not gonna have enough time to legitimately get into that.
It's Sunday. We got free reign on Sunday.
Oh, that's right. All right.
We've been on. Boss Man's been telling us, man, keep the shows to an eye. Come on. And we've been working on it so hard the past 3 weeks. I think we got it in control. Now Midnight Rider trying to keep other shows. No.
All right, so here we go. In the last few weeks, the NFLPA, we've heard of people resigning, people stepping down. JC Tretter. The most recent guy is, you know what? I've been calling this dude Lemon Pepper Lou. When I found out Lemon Pepper Lloyd. Ever since I found out that he was expensing wings at the strip club, he was expensing that out to the NFLPA and having them pay for his trips, and he's racked up a bill of $734, and that would get charged as, I guess, a business expense. So there's been some shady things going on. There's also the investigation where the decision or the arbitration case with the owners about them colluding to not do guaranteed money or guaranteed contracts for players after the Deshaun Watson. The PA colluded with the owners to not inform the players of the decision from that case, which is just mind-boggling. Now it's to a point where the feds are looking into the expenditures of the NFLPA, checking in for unfair business practices and a lapse of fiduciary duty oversight during the tenure of Lloyd Howell. He's the guy that resigned last week. He's also facing a potential conflict of interest regarding his involvement with the Carlyle Group. So the FBI has been investigating dealings involving One Team Partners, a group licensing firm co-founded by the NFLPA and Major League Baseball Association. There's just a whole bunch of crap going on. I've said that there's been some incidences where I feel like the PA hasn't had the players' best idea in mind or best thoughts in mind. Part of that is this 18-game schedule. I felt like they've been too chummy with the owners, and I guess trying to have this collaboration, and I think they're failing the players more than they're helping the players in this scenario. And you're starting to see some of that. So I wonder these next few weeks what else is going to come out. Just something that I just noticed, and it's just kind of bugged me because there's been some decisions where when I look at it, I just don't get why the PA is letting it happen. And now that you see some of this stuff coming out, I just feel like they're just since this guy Lloyd Howell wasn't really a player or anything like that, he's more of a, for lack of a better term, a businessman. that he doesn't have the same responsibilities to the players that maybe a former player would have. So that's kind of just a real quick shot across the bow in terms of that situation. I don't know how much you had time to look into it, Jack.
That's your thing, baby.
All right, cool. So
I appreciate you keeping me straight on all that DC government and the numbers thing going on over there, man. I appreciate it.
oh, well, the stadium has even gotten crazier because, like, we just found out. I think I mentioned it on Thursday. Where now for the stadium to go through, they got to have 8 members of the council vote for it, and then they have the vote that's coming up on they do it on August the 1st, and then 6 weeks later they do another vote. But the reason I guess I have confidence that this is just a formality is because of the direct negotiation that Middleton and a couple other of the council members have had with the Commanders. So, I mean, you can't negotiate directly with somebody, tell them what you want, they give it to you, and then you still turn around and say, oh, no, this ain't going to work. That's just bad business. So I think on August 1st, we'll get the 8 that we need. And then I don't see Trayvon or Trayvon White voting against the stadium. So that'll be the 9th that they need on the 17th. So I think everything should go through. And we should be talking about a new stadium being built come October, November, and figuring out how they're going to break down RFK and control the asbestos leaks and breakouts that come from tearing that stadium down.
Midnight Rider, I just had a thread come across my phone, and I think it's pretty amazing. It's news about quarterback Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. being the 4th quarterback in rotations, he's having to throw to equipment managers at times. Not even players. He's throwing to equipment managers because he is 4th on the depth chart. And Shedeur answered this really well, I thought. It really doesn't faze me. You have to understand, we came all the way from HBCU to Power 5, and now we're here. At this point, if you look around, there's nothing that's a challenge I haven't seen. That's pretty well said by him. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm really, there's a couple rookie quarterback situations going on this year that I can't wait to see what direction they go. And I just can't wait. Football season. I'm excited for the college football season, in which I think we need to put together a preview show soon, Midnight Rider. What do you think?
Say that one more time.
I said I'm just so excited for the football season's coming, and I'm excited for college football. We got a lot of new quarterbacks coming. I think we need to put together our college football preview season, a preview show soon.
I agree with you. I think I sent you a list of like 30 college quarterbacks because I was thinking about, all right, I always do a top 10 or a top 5 every year, preseason, and that list adjusts throughout the season. I don't mind being wrong on a guy. I was wrong on Carson Beck last year.
Yeah.
You know, I think a kid that hurt himself just in this offseason alone was the kid Nico Iamaleava. Because he went from Tennessee, now he's at UCLA. And I'm sorry, I haven't seen anything at UCLA the last 3 years that makes me comfortable with their coaching situation or how they do things. Who else is somebody? Sam Levitt or Leave It at Arizona State. You know, he loses your boy Cam Scottaboo. So we kind of wonder what that offense looks like going into year 2 or year 3 for him. You got Arch Manning. Everybody talks about Arch like, you know, he's a second coming, but he was okay. But I didn't leave any ball game that he played last year like they got to put him on the field, keep him on the field. So that's another person that sticks out. Take it back to your home, Cade Klubnik, Clemson kid. I like him. I thought he was better than he was last year, but he's another QB that it just depends on what they do because Clemson's defensive line, from all things that I've read, is going to be the truth next year. So I don't think many teams are going to score on them. I think their thing comes down to, and plus their conference isn't that good. So I think it's going to come down to, can Cade lead them to the promised land? All eyes on Cade.
Yeah, definitely.
Who else?
Clemson's got. I saw Dabo the other day. They got a certain amount of 10-game winning seasons. I want to say it might be 10 or 12. And the few that weren't 10-game winning seasons are 9s.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been one of the most successful programs in the last 2 decades almost. And if they don't make it to the championship game, they're considered to have a fail of a season. And I think that's not right to judge like that. I enjoy Clemson football. I really do. I think it's because of the close relations I have there due to my sister-in-law. But they treat me and my family good down there. So I'm not going to hate on the Tigers. Go Tigers.
Since we already touched your Tigers, I'll touch my Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I haven't heard anything on. I got to read up on their QB situation to figure out what's going on there. But that's probably their biggest key. The last couple of years, they invested heavily in the graduate players as their quarterbacks. So I don't know if they've been able to get someone developed, or if this is going to be another transfer that's going to end up playing quarterback for them. I think their last 3, Hartman, what's number 17's name that I dogged out all season?
Boo.
The Wisconsin kid. Can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. But and then last year they had the kid, the running quarterback. So they've had 3 years of grad student quarterbacks that have led them. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Maryland's got Malik Washington in camp from St. Francis. That's going to be interesting. Colorado, you've got the transfer kid from Liberty, and then you got the freshman kid coming in. I think his name is Seton. That's another place where it's going to get interesting. I mean, we got stories for days in college football. Who's the quarterback at Ohio State? That's not a bad job. Alabama's got 2 young quarterbacks fighting to see who's going to be number 1 there. That might be one of the tougher jobs, because if you don't win 10 or 11 there and get in the playoff, it's a failure.
Yeah.
Ole Miss has got to replace Jackson Dart.
It's going to be nice over there in College Park to watch a hometown star like Washington from up there, just up north at St. Joe's.
St. Joe's. I'm sorry. I said St. Francis. I apologize.
Yeah, I think it's at St. Joe's, right?
It's one of those. It's one of those power schools.
No, it's St. Francis. You're right. It's St. Francis. Coach Boucher, he used to have ties to St. Francis. That's who it is. It's gonna be nice because I'm telling you, I've seen him play in a couple of games on ESPN last year. He looked like a college quarterback out there with high school boys. So, can this be what helps Maryland stay above water in the Big Ten? I think so.
No, this is exactly the thing. And then because I always felt like Maryland, if you can get good quarterback play, Maryland's good enough to win 8 games or 9 games. I say it every year. I get pissed because they find a way to lose a game or 2 that they shouldn't lose, to a Purdue, to a Northwestern. Yes. And it's just like, come on. And I'm banging my head against my TV. Michigan State beats them when Michigan State shouldn't beat them. Speaking of the Big Ten, you got Drew Aller at Penn State. I haven't been sold on him. I think he's one of those guys that came in with hype and he's been all myth. I just don't see it with him. Who else? We were talking? Oh my God. DJ Langway, Florida. I think Florida's gonna be trouble this year. They've got one of the better receiving corps coming in. They got a bunch of transfers and stuff. Their situation will be good. And then Michigan with Bryce Underwood. That's the kid they paid a whole bunch of money to come in and be their starter day one. So I think the days of the orgy in Michigan are over, and they gotta go. They're going now with Underwood. It's man, it's so many stories just in this conversation alone. We done mixed like 15 different things, and this is all QB related. We haven't gotten into like defenses or wide receivers or anything like that.
Right.
Oregon. Who's the quarterback of Oregon? Because you lost Dylan Gabriel. That's another spot. Because Oregon, I mean, they have the athletes. They always have the athletes.
Yeah.
You just need somebody to manage the football. And Dylan Gabriel did a good job managing the football. I think the only mistake that college football made last year was, and we talked about this, was the play setup. I thought all the teams that won their conference getting buys, like the top four, I thought that was a mistake. And they fixed that mistake this year, where now the top four teams in the poll get the break or the bye. And I think if they'd had that in place this year, Oregon and Ohio State wouldn't have played to a semifinal instead of playing as early as they did.
Yeah,
I can go on, Jack. Don't.
Oh,
see, this is what you did. You started some shit. You said, oh, we can go on. We can go on. We can go on.
Nah, man, you're right. And I think our NCAA college football preview show can go 3 hours.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. We gotta pick a date. Like maybe that's a Monday. No, we can't do Monday at 8 because we go 3 hours. It's gonna be 11 o'clock before we finish. Maybe one of the we gotta get special permission from BJ, and one of the Tuesday or Thursday shows we do our college preview. We got till August 30th because the season starts August 30th. So we got plenty of time to figure that out and make it work for us.
Yeah, man. I think it's got to happen in the next 2 weeks at the most.
You want to do a preview 2 weeks out before the season starts?
Don't the season start the 3rd week of August?
The season starts
24th?
August 30th.
Bullshit. Somebody plays the week before that, a big game. All right, we'll get everything. I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I'm right. We'll get this straight. I'm so amped for it, dude. I really am. I'm ready to dive into college football.
I think what was the thing that Danny mentioned this week on their show? He said this is the last weekend that we can go without any football. From next week on, next week being the Hall of Fame game, or whenever the Hall of Fame game is played, from that point on, we don't have a weekend without football. And for those people that are fans of other teams, don't forget that the NFL Network will film preseason games or play preseason games all throughout the week at random times. So once they're done with their main content, that'll get played out. You know what? I just stumbled onto something.
Oh, shit.
So ESPN is finalizing the deal to purchase the NFL Network and the Red Zone channel. I'm scared. I'm dead serious, dog. I'm scared because you know me. My NFL Network is my thing. I love NFL Network because it isn't ESPN. You get the Daniel Jeremiahs, you get the Charles Davis, you get Bucky Brooks, all those guys breaking down the draft. You get their different shows and their different talents, and I just think when they fall under the ESPN umbrella, I just want them to not get ESPN. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want ESPN to put their stank on them and turn them into shows where people yell and every other sentence is, "Oh, this is an abomination. It's ludicrous," and all that other stuff. No, we don't need them to Stephen A. it up. I want it to be NFL Network shows where they give you the information and it's pure information and not the ESPN slime on it.
Right.
Because especially when it comes draft season, because if I gotta watch Mel Kiper and Todd McShay do a draft, I'm not gonna be happy, man. It's part of the reason why I love the NFL Network. It's because I get Rich Eisen, I get Jeremiah. We might get the old Stanford coach, Davis. I think is something David. Like, I just got a better. For me, it's a better product. I know if KG was on here, he'd tell me I'm crazy, but I love my NFL Network product on certain things. Sorry, man.
Nah, speak, my man, speak.
You got anything else?
Not as much as I'd want to, no.
All right. So just so you notice, I labeled this the leftovers, because we had stuff that we just wanted to get out, outside the main core of our conversation. So let's get to the close it out portion, and let's hit our staple. What are you eating? Jack Carr, why are you eating today?
Jack ain't playing today. Jack ain't playing. I'm gonna get some crabs. Okay. I want crabs. My wife wants crabs. Cameron couldn't bring us no crabs from work. Sometimes she can bring us, 6, 8, 10 crabs that was like left over from some event.
Right.
Last week, though, she brought us on 2 pounds of big brown. So, she putting another 10-hour day in the day. I'd say I give my daughter so much credit, so much respect, so much love for her work ethic, man. It's amazing to see a 19-year-old girl with the work ethic she has. It makes me so proud.
But she gets it honestly. She gets it from you. You and her mom.
She gets it from my wife.
Nah, dude.
You get it from my wife.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now. Sometimes you annoy the heck out of me, but when it comes to this show and doing certain stuff and doing it a certain way, you will be down to the detail. Oh, I want this. I need it this way. Don't do this. Dude, you are right there. Yesterday, there were points I was like, yo, if this dude don't just stop bumping me and keep talking to me, leave me alone. You know it's you. And you were so hyped yesterday, man.
I was.
I think that's where Cameron gets some of that from. I think it's a good mixture of both.
Thank you.
I think it's a real good mix of both.
Thank you. So let's get to the point. What you eating, fool?
You know what, fool? I don't even know, man.
I'm plucking up some crabs. I'm crushing crabs.
I got chicken thighs. I got enough stuff to do spaghetti. I just don't feel like standing over an open flame to do spaghetti. So I think I'm just gonna throw the chicken thighs in the
air fryer.
I'm just gonna throw them in the oven. Yeah.
Oven.
Yeah, let them cook for a couple hours at like 300 or something like that, 350, and call it a day.
Yeah, that sounds good. Like I said, that's the thing. I don't want my wife cooking today, and I want crabs. I'm probably gonna steam them because I like cooking my crabs, dude. When you grow up cooking crabs and you know the precise amount of time to cook crabs, you don't go nowhere and get them already steamed. You just don't, because then you're going to bitch about them if you don't like them. So cook your own crabs is what I do.
You know, it's funny you say that. It's real funny you say that, because lately, I'm too impatient at like places like Captain White's for them to steam it. So I'll just bring the live crabs home. I'll put just like enough beer in the bottom of the pan to cover the bottom, because I don't have one of those grates. I know I've seen people with the grates with the opening, so you can separate the crabs from the water or the crabs from the beer. I don't have one of those, but yeah,
you can make one with some pie pans.
Okay, dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not arts and craft guy. So I'll do mine where I just cover the bottom pan with the beer. I add some other stuff in there with the seasonings and everything, and I get going. And I fight with them little jokers.
If you don't put a shit ton of liquid in there, you'll be all right. You'll just be boiling the bottom crabs, you know. You'll be kind of boiling the bottom crabs instead of steaming them, but it won't mess you up. But I tell you, at least you ain't do what some cats I was hanging out with. It had to been, how old was I back then? I was probably 25. So 25 years ago, I used to work for my boy Johnny K. And anybody that listens to this knows Johnny K. His name is John Kalinsky. Kalinsky Waterproofing is his company name. I'm kind of having a beef with John over loyalty right now, but that's just something. He got a tip from a customer. We was down in Mayo, down near the Edgewater area in Anne Arundel County. And dude's like, y'all like crabs? We all like, hell yeah. He's like, well, I'm going to give y'all a bushel of crabs for a tip. And at that time, a bushel of crabs was like $300.
Right.
So we like, hell yeah. So we bring them jokers home back to Johnny's apartment in Briggs Cheney. That's up there in, where's Briggs Cheney? Montgomery County? I don't know. But anyway, so we're there, and I'm like, what you doing, dude? He's like, I'm getting ready to steam. I said, you ain't got no J.O. He's like, I got some Old Bay. I'm like, Old Bay, J.O., not the same. You dip your crab meat in Old Bay. You steam your crabs in J.O., not the opposite. So I said, all right, y'all, it was Bobby. No, it wasn't. It was Bobby, Tony Junta, and Mike Vega sitting there with a bushel of crabs. And me and Johnny go up the road. Man, I come back. They got crabs all on the floor, under the couch. I'm like, what are y'all doing? They're like, we cooking the crabs, Jack. I said, we ain't got the spice yet. Oh. I said, I look on the stove. There ain't no pot. I said, where you cooking these crabs? These Bammers had them in the oven on a fucking cookie sheet. Even your DC ass knows you don't cook crabs in the oven.
Hey, man.
So, yeah, I won't let Tony Junta and Mike Vega let that down. Bobby knew better, but Bobby just thought it'd be funny to see our face when we came home to see that. So he allowed that to happen. Putting Chesapeake Bay blue crabs on a cookie sheet and putting it in the oven, dude. I've never seen such. Because like I say, I grew up on the South River, man. I've been seeing crabs be steamed since I was 5.
What? How? Like what?
What? No, come on, because I got to answer to this.
Where do you even get the idea of putting crabs in the oven? Like that doesn't even make sense.
I have no idea. Everybody knows you steam them or boil them. Yeah. I thought they was retarded, dude. Excuse the word if people don't like it, but that's what I thought. I'm like, are y'all dumb? Yeah, they put them on a cookie, and then they're crawling all over the oven, dude. Because when crabs get hot, they start tripping.
Right.
Yeah.
It's always funny to me when it's like the crabs are fine in the bag in your car.
Yeah.
But the second that bag gets open and you reach your hand in that bag, it becomes a fight for life. It's like somehow they know the only thing left is going into a pot and getting steam.
Yes, sir. And they go crazy because if you don't put a little weight on your lid, them jokers will lift that lid, man.
Yeah, see, I try to get
it
started a little bit.
They was running around the living room like they was looking for a lost puppy. I'm like, what y'all doing? Oh, we gotta get this crab from under the couch. I'm like, crabs under the couch? It's funny as shit. Now I'm ready to make some phone calls out of this because I gotta start messing with some people about that story. It was like 25 years ago, man. I almost lost it.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and try to get out of here. Anything we missed? I don't think we did. I think that was part of the reason we did the leftover segment. But anything else on your mind that you're thinking about?
Nah, we covered it. I mean, come on, Terry. Let's get some ink on the paper, Washington. Let's get some ink on the paper and then start getting down to business. Not business,
business. All right,
that's something my boy Lee Ice says. Business. I'd like to give Lee his flowers. Lee's the one that got me into this whole podcast journey, and I can't thank him enough. Him and Hill over there at All In Sports. I appreciate you, fellas.
Okay. With that being said, and let's go out on that note. This is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. It's the Sunday Rise. He is the Gentleman Jack. I am the Midnight Rider. We gave you about an hour and some change, but that's because we have the freedom to go over an hour. Thanks to Jack for reminding me about that, because I was about to cut us at an hour.
I know. I was wondering, man. You got to get BJ's memos, dude.
I got you, man. With that being said, everybody enjoy your Sunday. Hug your loved ones. And before we get out of here, don't forget tomorrow, 5 p.m. drive time, 7 p.m. Pretenders or Contenders, Tuesday night flight at 8, Wednesday in the passenger seat. Either we're doing a run or we're going to do a new show. Not sure yet. We're working on some guests. Thursday's the Thursday night throwdown. Friday, we don't have a show. Saturday, we got the Saturday WrestleManiacs. And then Sunday, you back here with us on the Sunday Rise. With all that being said, enjoy all the Sideline Junkies content. Check out our interviews. We're going to have a bunch of them coming out. I dropped a bunch yesterday. I know Jack's dropping a bunch today. With that being said, have a good weekend. Enjoy the last part of your weekend. And have fun tomorrow. Work on Monday. We out.